Hello, my name is Carole. Welcome to my sewing room. You are joining me today for a look back of my favourite makes of 2024. Another year has gone by. This is the third time I've done a video like this, and it's really interesting to look back on the other years and see what I did. Now, I make a lot of things, garments for myself, for my family, and bits and bobs of crafts and things. But so it's always hard to choose 5 items. I've thrown in a bonus one at the end, so it's kind of 5.5. I am dreadful at keeping notes of my things I make. The only thing I have is this Bible, and this is my book I use for Friday Sews notes. So just notes I write about Friday Sews. And this actually is the only record, apart from watching my own videos, of anything that I've sewn. I just want to get things made. I just want to get them made and worn, or made and given away. I can't spend too much time planning and writing every detail down. That's just me. So this is all I have. And of course my videos. So I use my videos a lot to backtrack and see what I've sewn. So I have chosen my 5 favourite garments and a bonus at the end, and there is one indie pattern in there, unbelievably, but it's mainly the big 4. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to put them on the mannequin where I can, and then I will insert just a bit of a photo of me or a video just doing a twirl, and then you can see it on me if you can't remember what it looked like first time round. So thank you so much for joining me. It's always fun to look back, isn't it, on the year? And I'll say it now, but I'll probably say it at the end. But thank you so much for subscribing to my channel this past year. And even if you're not, just for checking in and seeing what I've sewn. I really do appreciate your time and your company. Now, I never have the need to sew anything special, and particularly last year, there wasn't a wedding to go to, there wasn't an event. I don't think I went anywhere special for a birthday party. So everything is kind of everyday wear, because that is me. I don't work. I don't sort of go out for lunches or anything like that. If I go out for dinner, it'll be with the grandchildren anyway and the family. So never really got the need to dress up. But that doesn't mean to say that these are just a whole boring set of garments. No, they're quite interesting, but I just thought I'd put that footnote in that nothing here is spectacular. So on that note, my first favourite garment of the year was what I labelled my posh red t-shirt, which is this one here. Now, funnily enough, and almost by coincidence, I am wearing the jumper version of this. Now, if you watch my channel, you will know I love this pattern, Butterick 6859. So I've made the long sleeve jumper loads of times. I've made the dress as well, but I'd never made the t-shirt version. So this year I got myself some beautiful soft bamboo jersey and tried it out. And I have worn this t-shirt so much because it looks a lot smarter than the other things that I have, the other t-shirts I have. It's beautifully soft, and it's just, you can really see the gathering on the sleeve head. It's a raglan sleeve and you can see it here, but it was one of my favourite things. I will definitely do another one of these next year, but what I would say is, if you're going to do it, make a t-shirt version or any particular version, the fabric has got to have a little bit of softness and a bit of drape, because then you can see the gathers. If it was in a cotton jersey, I don't think it would work that well at all, but the fact it was either like a viscose jersey or a bamboo jersey, you can see the gathers, and also being in a plain fabric meant that you could really see that. But as I said, I absolutely loved this t-shirt. I wore it so much. It really was a winner, and it was a winner in 2 ways. One, because I already had the pattern and it looks so different to the other things I've made before, but also because it was so soft and so smart. So that was my first favourite make, a t-shirt, of course, this is me, Butterick 6859. On to number 2, and funnily enough, it's another Butterick pattern. This was a complete surprise on how successful it would be. So this was a result of my double fabric wheel of fate. So this was a series I did towards the end of the year where I put some fabric on a wheel and a pattern on a wheel. I spun first to see what fabric I was going to use and spun secondly to see the pattern I was going to use. And this combination could not have worked out better for me. So the pattern was Butterick 6455 and I chose to make this design. Now, I really didn't know how this would come out, but I absolutely love this top. It's got, for me, statement sleeves. Now, I'd done this sleeve before where you have this gather bit at the bottom, but not where the sleeves are so wide. I did very sensibly, because the inside of the fabric was white, I did double kind of line that cuff bit there. It's got a gather ring around the bottom. It is slightly high-low, as you can see. And the way it's just gathered and fitted around the neck, which is perfect for me because I am narrow-shouldered. So that meant that you could bring this elastic in as tight as you want it to make it fit. Absolutely perfect for me. I really didn't know whether I'd wear this, but I absolutely love it. I've worn it on my holidays. I normally wear it with kind of white pair of jeans and I feel fantastic in it. It is a top that makes me feel amazing because it's a bit different, because it's a bit upscaled. I love the sleeves. I love the gathered. I've never had like a peplum top before, so I absolutely loved it. This was a beautiful viscose challis that I bought a long time ago, hence it was in the fabric wheel. I was just scared to sew it up, as we all are with a lot of our fabrics. But oh my word, I really want to make another one this year, next year, 2025. But so that was the view I made. Obviously, because I know that that elastic neck is a winner for me with narrow shoulders, any of these views would be absolutely fine. But this was out and out the most fantastic, successful garment from the fabric wheel I have had the whole year. So on to now one of my favourite indie patterns that I've tried this year. Now I've only tried a handful. I have drawers and drawers full of the big four patterns. So when I do see an indie pattern or release come out and they do the physical pattern, then I'm very tempted to try it. This was one, the Friday Pattern Company Donny shirt that so many people made. So I thought I'll give it a go. I wasn't convinced it was going to work. Hence I used this quite bright kind of viscose I had, and it's not a great quality. It was very bright, jazzy, I want to say, but I thought I'd give it a go. And oh my goodness, I really, really loved this. So it's got the collar, but it's a flat collar, so there's no collar stand. There is a pocket, but you can't really see it with this fabric. And then you've got this split down here. There's it is front centre seam, but there's no buttons. But I did raise the split because it is quite low. It's quite low on a lot of people, but I raised it up for me. I remember lengthening it a bit, and I think I would definitely lengthen it a bit more next time, but it does sit in quite a nice place. So you've got the short sleeves, you've got the gathered in the back. I'm pretty sure you've seen the Donny shirt on most sewing channels this year, but I really loved it. And I had a white piece of linen that I really wanted to go ahead and make a second. Never got round to it. So I'm hoping maybe 2025 I can get around to making a second version of this, because I really just love the simple plain look there rather than using this very jazzy fabric. So that was a real surprise for me. I have made a couple of Friday Pattern Company's patterns and they both worked, so this was a great one and I will definitely want to revisit that in 2025. Now on to some trousers, which I do. This mannequin can split to show trousers, but I've never worked out how to do it, so I'm going to have to hold them up, but obviously I'll put the footage in of me wearing them. Now I first made these at the beginning of the year and it was in a collab an outfit collab, and it was New Look 6660, these patch pocket front high-waisted trousers. Now these actually went on later this year to be quite a trend. I then kept seeing all these patch pocket front. So was I ahead of the fashion curve? Probably not. But I first made them in a very, it's like a chambray denim, very loose weave, as you can see, almost like a linen, super soft. Now this was my first pair and I absolutely love them. They're slightly wide leg. I have worn them so much. I always put back pockets on and it doesn't actually have that. Oh, it does. I fib. They did have patch pockets on the back. Take that back. But if there is a trouser pattern I ever do that doesn't have back pockets, I always add them. So I was really happy with these. You don't have a waistband, it's flat front, and you've got the zip fly there, and then there's an inside button. I absolutely love these. I love these. They're so soft and so heavy. Later on in the year, I went on to make another pair out of some denim. But this was a horrible denim, I have to say. I still wear them. As you can see, you've got the wear lines. Even though they've been washed, you can still see the wear lines. I really didn't like this denim at all. It's very rigid. It's quite cheap feel, but definitely get some use out of them. I absolutely loved this pattern, and as I said, I went on to see a lot of trousers in the shops with these patch pockets. We've had side pockets in jeans for forever, haven't we? So it's been so nice to have the front pockets. I also used these front pockets on a pair of Ponte trousers that I made recently as well. So if I ever have a pattern where I like the shape of the pockets, I actually take a photocopy of the pocket and then keep it separately, sort of, so I've got a whole file with different pocket shapes that I know I can use. So again, this was no waistband, you got the zip fly and the inside button for security. So I absolutely loved these. These are a little snug on me at the moment, so when I try them on, I'll probably be trying those on. Yeah, roll on summer when we're not hiding stuff and eating too much. This was my favourite garment of the year, without a doubt. I probably said that before in this video, but this definitely was, for two reasons really. One, I managed to achieve it. This was New Look 6545, but this was a pattern that I'd had in my pattern stash for a long time and I wasn't ever brave enough to sew it up. Then suddenly I saw this kind of fabric in a shop and I thought, go on, give it a go. My only regret is I made it at the end of the year. I can't wait till spring when I can wear it more. I had some challenges along the way with this, for sure. I used the jersey ribbing here and on the cuffs. I could not work out the sleeves, lining the sleeves, because this was lined, and I'm not a girl that lines many things. But I had some cheap viscose jersey. It was just got from what they call a Walmart bundle. But it really worked. As I said, what I couldn't do is actually use it in the sleeves. So I ended up having to use a proper lining just for the sleeves. And that's where a lot of my challenges were, sewing something stretchy to something rigid. But I did it, I achieved it, and I absolutely loved it. It's got the side pockets. This is where I cut the pocket piece slightly differently. So you've got the first bit is normally the outside fabric, and then it goes into the lining fabric. So if you've got a bit, if it gapes slightly, you see the real fabric rather than the lining fabric. So I always tend to do pockets like that on trousers as well. But this was such a success for me. It was probably one of the longest makes I've done this year. A lot of the things I make obviously are quick and fairly simple, because that's all I need. But this one, I was really proud of myself for doing this one. It's actually one of the videos this year that's got more views than any of the others, because I actually made a jacket. So I am super pleased with that. Would I make another? Potentially, in a different fabric, but I'd be much more savvy as how to put the whole thing together. So that was New Look 6545. In the beginning I said I make a lot of garments. I make the odd kind of quilted object. I don't do quilts, I do quilted objects. Although this year I actually did pick up a quilt top in a charity shop that hadn't been finished, and I actually finished that off. I will be donating that. I've just got to find the right place for it. But the item for me that I absolutely loved doing, and I was so pleased that I did it, was a cushion cover, would you believe? Now, I bought a new duvet cover, and I don't know if I took a photo of it back in the beginning, but it had all these dangly ties at the bottom of the duvet cover where you would tie the ties. So you had the row of buttons, but you also had to tie all these bows. And I used it once, thought this is ridiculous, I'm cutting all those ties off. But then I thought this is such a waste because it was Laura Ashley fabric. And some piece of inspiration, I don't know what happened, but I decided to weave those ready cut strips together and turn them into a cushion cover. I'd never done anything like this before, so all these strips were ready sewn, so it made it a bit of easy for me, but I turned them into a cushion cover. Got the plain cut back with the envelope, and this sits on the bed. Now, every time I use that bedding and I look at this cushion, I smile inwardly because I'm very proud of myself that I did that. Didn't just cut those strips and throw them away. I knew they had to find a use somehow. I just love this, and I'm proud. I'm proud that I did it, and something so simple, I know, but sometimes it's the simplest things that make you happy, doesn't it? So there you go, that was 2024, and those are the 5 garments plus my item that I really loved making. Who knows what 2025 is going to come up with, whether it'll be stuff for my grandchildren or some for my husband. I don't know. We've got no big events planned, so there won't be any special garments, or will there? Who knows? This is my life. My life is very much day to day with no planning involved. So we shall see what 2025 comes up with. Thank you so much for joining me. I do hope that this video has given you some maybe inspiration, or made you think back on some of the things that you've created this year, and what you liked, what worked and what didn't work. I never like to focus on my mistakes or what didn't work. Most of the time I just wear the garments anyway. Thank you so much for joining me on my rundown of 2024, and I hope to see you lots more times in 2025. Thank you again, and happy sewing.